Hello everybody, welcome to the studio. I've still got a couple more pots that I wanted to finish off from when I did the photo shoot with Bruce. So I'm just going to bring the camera. Well, let me first of all get the pots in question. I've got a bowl here that I threw, kind of quite a ribby bowl with finger marks, as you can see. Sometimes it's nice to leave the see visible the work of the hand, and occasionally I do that. What I want to do now is trim this bowl and carve the foot. It's perfectly hard enough for me to do that now. So put that down on the wheel, then I'll bring the camera in like we did yesterday. So by the way, while we're just here, before I forget, because I did forget to do it yesterday, just wanted to say a very quick thing about what was going on out in Japan, and the terrible earthquake and the tsunami, and all the problems with the facility they have there. And of course our hearts go out to them at this time. Alongside my video clip, in the description, if you read, you'll see that the LEACH pottery, that's the pottery that my grandfather started in Cornwall, England, at St Ives. They are launching an appeal to help they are directing their help to helping the people of Mashiko, which is the place where my grandfather, alongside Shoji Hamada, the Japanese potter, what I should say is where Shoji had his studio, but they often worked there together, and where Shoji had his climbing kiln. Well, this climbing kiln in the earthquake, has been destroyed. So it's going to need a lot of repair work, and also there is a museum there in the town of Mashiko, which is has a lot of Hamada's pots in it, and a lot of them got broken. And I think that there have been some photographs circulating on Facebook and places like that, where you might be able to see those photographs. But anyway, it's an opportunity for us as potters to not just to ignite, but to unite and to support. So because the LEACH pottery, my granddad's pottery, in 2008 was reopened, and at the opening ceremony the Japanese came, and the Japanese ambassador was there, and they also brought a huge donation of money to give to the LEACH pottery. So the LEACH pottery now wants to in some way give back to them in this time of need. So together with the LEACH pottery, if you feel like giving or a donation of any kind, there's an opportunity to do that. And if you read in the description below, alongside this video, you can follow the steps there, the different methods that you can help. So if you feel moved in any way to help the potters of Mashiko, then please go and read what I put there. Okay? So, without further ado, let's get down on the wheel head and let's trim that bowl. Okay. I'm going to put the camera over here, like we did yesterday. Except today I don't have the fire light in here, so I'm having to resort to my little electric fire to keep my tootsies warm. Alright, so let's just get it centered up on the wheel and get started, and then maybe I'll zoom in for a bit of detail with you on this. Okay. Yeah, I can't show it to you because the lead won't allow me to, but just a little one of these parabolic electric radiators. So, trim tool, and what we're going to do is get the wheel going. I hope you can hear me above the sound of the wheel. Let's bring the camera in a bit, because it might be good to get a bit of detail. There we are. Now I don't want to trim the side here where the finger marks are. You know, when you're trimming, it's good to take the pot off the wheel sometimes, just to feel the thickness that you've got. Well, I feel that I've got sufficient thickness there, so we're okay. Taking off a bit more thickness just here. looking for the shape. When you start to carve the foot ring, I'll just turn it off a bit. This is a rather old wheel. It's an old Shimpo, and I think it dates back to about the 1960s. And it's a pretty solid affair and very heavy. Anyway, as you can see, I put in a little cut there with my trim tool, which serves as a marker, so that I don't trim this here out too much, and then make it too thin across here, the foot ring. So before I start, I usually just put that marker in there. It's like a visual aid just to help me. So when I start, I usually now cut down and then cut across. So when you're cutting your feet, let's bring the camera in even further on this one. Let's see. Yeah. I hope that's in focus for you out there, wherever you are. Whoops. Sorry. Yeah, so you can see the ring there now. Just want to. Sorry about this. All right, there we go. So you can see the ring. So let's now, and the first thing is to make a cut down here. Like that. And now I'm going to cut from the center outwards. So, you know when you're doing, quiet boy, when you're doing this kind of work, you're thinking about how wide to make that in relation to the total width. A sort of feeling so it feels kind of right. You don't want to make it obviously too thin, otherwise it looks like it's got too small a base. You don't want to make it too wide, otherwise it looks kind of thick and clumpy. It doesn't look like it's got enough lift. So this cut in here at the base of the pots, when we do it, it creates a certain mood, you know, to the pots that we make. I've got in front of me over here, I see a bowl that I recently made. This is a fluted bowl, and again, one is almost taking it to the limit of its narrowness that you can go on the foot without it looking like it's too narrow, like it's too topply. You think, oh, it'll just fall over with a puff of wind and it'll just fall over. So I try to take it to almost the limit. For some people, they might look at it and think, well, it's already too narrow in the foot and too delicate already. But it's down to your own preference, really, I suppose, at the end of the day. But there are some basic guidelines, I think, which I try to see. This bowl is not such a narrow-footed bowl as the one here in this hand. So now I've got another pot that I just need to trim. Now this is one that I did just recently with Bruce, but I got the feeling that it's actually, I've left a little bit too much clay here. So I want to put it back on the wheel, and if it will allow me, and just skim a little off. Now you may wonder why I was sponging the sides of the bowl and on the inside. The reason I was doing that was because this bowl was getting a little bit dry down here towards the lip of the pot. So of course, when you take a pot and you put it upside down back on the wheel again, and you apply a little bit of pressure to it it could have a tendency to crack it if it gets too dry. So the reason I was putting the sponge to it was to moisten it and dampen it a little bit, to lessen the probability of it cracking. Of course, when we're working off of these bats, we are keeping the pot flat. And this pot has been kept on a bat upside down until now, so it should be flat. So all I'm doing is putting it onto another bat. But you just It's just as a precaution. So I'm going to quickly now just skim a bit of material off here. Just there. Now when you want to get a pot off the wheel when it's stuck, okay, don't whack it, but if you push like this, you'll find it'll release it. Okay, that's a little better now. Okay, just showing it to you so you get the feel of the proportions. It's all about proportions, you see, getting the right balance. Anyhow, well, okay, folks. Well, there's just a few thoughts for you in relation to trimming. This was the one of the little bowls we did yesterday, which has got a trimmed foot, but it doesn't have a foot as such, but it's got a recessed piece there, and then another one. These actually, I'm going to raku these guys, and oh yeah, and then there was this one that we did yesterday, you remember. Little jar. These are actually quite nice pots to make, and you can do a little bit of a gallery flange here, and then you can put a lid on the top of them, and they are very satisfying. Satisfying to look at. You see? Okay. All right. Well, under the glare of the light here, turn it away a bit. It's a bit bright. Yeah. Thanks for joining me in this session, and we'll continue. Simon Leach saying, keep practicing. Don't forget. Bye bye now.